Hi, welcome to 2020 Tasty Treats. This is the House Sampler Block series, and we are just about finished with it. All of a sudden, all these houses, it's kind of like a city up here behind me. It's exciting. They've all got roofs and chimneys and happy little houses that they are. So this is the final block. This is number 20 in the series of 20 blocks. This is the block that we're going to make today. And as you can see, our houses are doing amazingly well. And so I've just got this last block to show you to make, so we'll go ahead and do it. If you have signed up on GourmetQuilter, you'll have the pattern which will show you all the cutting measurements and how to make the block, and I'm just going to run through so that you can see how to make it. So I've cut everything out as the pattern suggested, and so we're going to start off, so that because we're making this block, I'm going to start off in the centre. Now we have done this process before when we were doing a quite different looking block. This one up here, we started off putting our corners on the centre square. So we're doing the same sort of thing, but then we're going to finish the block off differently. So I've gone ahead and cut my fabrics out. We need 4 squares that we're going to be putting on as our corners onto a larger square, and they need to have a line marked on them. These are a little bit smaller than some of our others, so we only need the one line because we're just trimming away the rest of it. Now this is a very dark fabric, so it's not always easy to see. You can get white pencils, white chalk pencils, all sorts of things that help you see things. I've actually just still used my grey lead. I can see that to sew with, so I'm happy. You might not be able to see it though. So what I'm going to do here, I've marked my diagonal line from point to point, and I do 2 opposite corners first. So I stitch them on the line, then I trim away the corner and open them, fold them back and press them, and then I come back and put the other 2 corners on. So I'll go ahead and stitch these 2 corners on and show you how we do the rest of it. So that's my first 2 lines stitched, and I'm just going to trim that thread, trim those little corners off. So I'm just laying my 1/4 inch in from the edge line right over my stitching line and trimming those little bits away which we don't need. And now I'm going to press those out. So I'm going to press the seams into the triangles. So we're not changing the size of the square doing this, we're just altering how it looks. So that's those 2 on, and now we just need to do the other 2 opposite corners. So the same thing, I've got my diagonal lines drawn here, so I place that they should overlap where we start and stop, and I can do the 2 opposite corners again, and then we'll have our square. So I'll go ahead and stitch those on and then show you the next stage. So I've got my corners done, I've pressed them all into the corner, so I'm pretty pleased with that. So now we have to put the sides on. So we've got this sort of framework inside, so we've got our rectangles all ready to go here. We put them all the way around, and it's kind of like a 9 patch. We've done this sort of thing before, it's just that everything isn't the same size. So we can make 3 separate rows that we put together like we do with the 9 patches, and then we can join the 3 rows up. So a square on each end of the rectangle there and here, and a rectangle on each side of that central square that we've just made. So I can do all that, make my 3 rows and join the block up. So I'll just get started on that, and then I can show you when we're just about done. So I've done my 3 rows of my patches. Just pressing them now, so I'm pressing these seams in towards the lighter colour, and this one here, because it's got these corners on it, I'm going to press also into the lighter colour. So then they're all going to nestle nicely when we join those 3 together, which we're going to do very soon now. So they get joined up to make that little block, and then we need to put the surrounds on. So I'll go ahead and stitch these. So I've finished sewing the rows together, so the block is now ready for its walls so that it becomes part of the little town behind me. Quite a large town actually, more like a city. So now I need to put these surround pieces on, so I'm going to put the sides on and the top and bottom, and then I can come back and finish it off. So I've gone ahead, I've put my surrounds on, so there's our last block done, but there's just one more thing to do. I just happen to have over here a roof. So I'm going to stitch that roof on. This is the last one, as you can see behind me. My houses already have roofs for the most part. So it's just a matter of stitching this little roof on top here and pressing it, and then we've done all of our 20 blocks. That is pretty amazing. I'm going to press that. So I'm pressing that into the house because of these corners here, they won't want to bend up. So we'll just let them go down. And so there's our final block. And we'll put it up with its friends up here so that it feels part of the township. And so that's all 20 blocks up there now. As you can see, some chimneys are on one side and some are on another, but for the most part they're all quite happily settled in there, and there's 20 blocks there. We've been very busy making a 20 block sampler, and so thank you for joining me for all of that. And there's more information on the website on GourmetQuilter.com if you're looking for some, and we'll see you maybe for some of the other tasty treats that we've got going this year. Thank you.